On your marks, get set, don't go anywhere, don't move. Oh man, as someone who's inspired by sport, I got a real treat getting to chat to one of South Africa's favourite sons, and I would say one of Man United's favourite sons, because he played with them and helped them win an FA Cup, Gary Bailey. He taught me how to succeed under pressure. Man, what a gentleman and what a player. This one you're gonna love.
As a former pro player for Manchester United, Gary Bailey made over 300 match appearances and was capped twice for England. He grew up in South Africa before establishing himself as goalkeeper in the late 1970s. Drawing from his vast experience, Gary penned a book titled Succeed Under Pressure.
Well, Gary, great to catch up with you. It's been some time since we've seen each other. It sounds like it has been a hugely successful year for you. Tell us a little bit about your 2012. How's it been going?
I think it's been a year under pressure, like with most people. I think we're all battling to come up with new ideas, new business, to deal with the pressure that surrounds us. It's true in sport every single year. It doesn't matter what happened last year. You've still got to win leagues this year in sport. In business, you've still got to make money, and it's tough times for people. So I think that's what inspired my book about how to deal with pressure, because in sport, you've probably got more pressure than anyone else. You've got pressure every single weekend. Sometimes in business, it's quarterly results, annual results. In soccer in particular, it's weekly and sometimes twice a week.
And of course, that's been one of the keys to your success, is your ability to reinvent yourself. And if you look at the path of your career from graduate to pro footballer to now public speaker and all the various other areas of your life, reinvention really has been one of the keys to your success.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's about adding value. And once my days as a footballer were over, I had to look at it and say, where do I add value? You're not going to get paid by someone if you don't add value somewhere. So it was into TV that I went, and radio broadcasting. I enjoyed that. That's been great for me. Then you look at other ways of making money. Professional speaking has been fantastic over the last sort of 10 years. Now writing a book, and I'll keep reinventing it as and when I need to. And again, I think that's true for most people out there in the business world. Is, you know, if this line of business isn't working for you 100%, how do you reinvent it? How do you adapt it? How do you just stay ahead of the curve?
As a footballer with an MBA, playing as a goalkeeper, the toughest position on the pitch for the biggest club in the world, Gary knows how to deal with and even thrive under pressure.
When you're experienced and you're 30 years of age, you know how to, placate everyone around you when you make a mistake. When you're 20 and you're desperate to do well, every little error, works on your mind. And one of the biggest was within 4 months of getting in the team, we played in an FA Cup final. And I got blamed for the goal in the last minute. So, that sort of pressure. But in the book, I talk about how to deal with them. One of the things is gratitude. When I came back home to Joburg, my dad said to me, you know what, I know you're beating yourself up about losing a cup final. He said, just bear in mind that very few South Africans will ever play in an FA Cup final. And you've done it within a year of getting there. He said, just be grateful for the fact you played and don't focus on losing. And he was right, because if I'd have focused on losing, I'd have fallen apart. And instead, I just kept reminding myself, I've been in an FA Cup final. If that's all I ever do in my life, it's something.
Right, the book gives us some wonderful practical ways of harnessing that nervous, that adrenaline-related energy in the moment. Can you take us through one of the skills or one of the ways that we can harness pressure?
I've been talking about Manchester United and what we can learn from that club, and even Kaizer Chiefs, for years. But it was actually about a year and a half ago that a fellow speaker said to me, you're talking about leadership. And he said, with all due respect, you really haven't been in that leadership position like Sir Alex Ferguson has. But he said, I'll tell you one thing that you are a world expert in. And I said, what's that? He said, pressure. He said, working on television, public speaking, being a goalkeeper for Man United and Kaizer Chiefs. He said, that is the ultimate impression. He says, so focus on that. And from that moment onwards, I changed all my talks to be about how to deal with pressure. When you think about everybody in business, whether it's a small business or a large business, is under massive pressure. And the funny thing is, pressure can inspire you or it can destroy you. And I've had to pull great players out of the dressing room onto the pitch and say, come on, play, you've got to get out there. Guys who are scared to play but have great talent. And there's other players in the dressing room when you look around who aren't that talented, but the eyes do this when the match starts. They can't wait to get out. So I'm asking myself the question, why does pressure inspire some people and it destroys others? And there's simple techniques like gratitude, like reframing challenges to make them exciting, like being adaptable, that actually can help you cope with that pressure.
Gary offers practical, down-to-earth strategies in his book that reflects his own commitment in life, which he summarizes in 3 simple words, namely to live, love and help. He believes in experiencing every moment fully.
You know, I think it applies to everybody in every business, in everything you do, even in your personal life. You will take knocks, you will come under pressure. At times it could be hard financially, they could be hard within relationships, and how do you deal with it? And all the successful people I've known, and in particular Sir Alex Ferguson, who was my manager and who wrote the foreword for the book, why is he so successful 26 years on from being Man United manager? And it's because he does certain things on a regular basis. He's so adaptable. How do you be adaptable? He's constantly learning new things, and they can be small things. For example, David Beckham, when he started, not many people know this, but when he started, he was a PR disaster. Today he's the greatest PR sportsman of all time.
Yeah.
He was a PR disaster. He learned how to manage the media, and now he's the greatest of all time. So in business, to be adaptable, it's a case of constantly learning small things, learning technology, learning how to Twitter, learning this, learning that. It doesn't have to be massive degrees. It can just be a little bit of learning every day. But if you're not learning, then you won't be adapting.
Only change is constant, so take a page from Gary's book, reframe the situation with a grateful attitude, and harness stress to excite and motivate you.
True generosity is breakfast that's served all day and made with fresh ingredients. Mugg & Bean, giving you more and more.